for me, not anymore as most people try to make it out right. Though developing country, that just means that we have more room for improvement. We have more we have more leeway as well, right?
And we're developing.
We are. I mean, that's why we're.
You talk about developing countries. Now, Philippines as a developing country. So,
Yeah.
what do we think are the needed investments or infrastructure for smart home to be more adaptive in a developing country like Philippines?
Definitely faster internet.
That's
I
true.
think, yeah. Diba?
Yeah, and I think Rhia answered the question a while ago. It's really having the house be ready for it, right? So that wala nang bakbak, wala nang additional works needed.
True.
So if it's ready, the cost can be done from the very start.
True.
The costing can be done from there. That's you minimize it by quite a bit.
True.
Because really, in terms of the requirements, in terms of the electrical requirements, it's actually not that much more.
True.
If it's done from the start.
Yeah.
It's done from the start, right? Especially if you know where all the lines go, the paths of it. If it can be planned or drawn out from the start, then it would really we can really save a lot.
I actually have like first-hand experience when it comes to that. So I had a client, sabi niya, gusto ko talaga smart home. But then the house wasn't smart home ready.
Finish.
And they wanted smart switches. But the problem was, hindi siya neutral.
You need the neutral
Yes,
line.
hindi neutral yung line. So, hindi siya magawa kasi the house was already like,
True.
already put up.
Yeah.
And then, we were there to do like,
True.
like very minor renovations.
Yes.
And then
True.
that would do like major renovation
Major
just to have it,
Correct.
to
Correct.
make it neutral, diba?
True.
So,
Actually,
yeah.
that's why in terms of technology, it's not just both. It's actually both sides that have been working hand in hand. Because
Yeah.
right now we've released newer products that are non-neutral.
True.
Oh, okay, that's
True.
good.
So
True.
like
Good to
this space right now, right?
True.
We don't have to do anything additional.
True.
We simply
okay.
take out the switch, change it into a smart switch,
Plug and play.
and you're ready. You're
This was
ready.
back in 2020.
Yes.
So that was long
And
time.
to add to that, I think we need also to invest time to design it properly.
Yes.
Yun yung isang
Oo.
nakalimutan nito sometimes. No? Parang you just think na, let's do smart home. But in reality, no, especially in our field in architecture, you have to see everything.
Yeah.
So in terms of the electrical, we also need to see it. How are we going to integrate that?
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially when we're doing these types of smart home, we also need to allot time
Yeah.
to consider, no? Diba? So I think that's one thing na the client should invest
Yeah.
as well.
In other words, hindi lang siya pwedeng DIY.
Yes, hindi pwedeng
Kailangan you
basta-basta.
also need like
True.
professionals to help you out.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
Especially if your house is of a considerable size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a room, then there's still possibility for those really
DIY.
into DIY it
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Very few lang kasi pag small yung space. No?
Yeah.
But if
Yes.
it's in the entire house.
Then
A lot of things
it's
to
a different
consider.
story because you need your first floor switch to communicate with your third floor
Yeah.
Right.
devices.
Yeah,
diba?
it's a different story.
It's a different story.
For
Yeah,
me,
I agree.
for us to have really a scalable impact to the Philippine market is really to get support of the government. Like a similar approach to an EV, where if we have an electric vehicle car, you're exempted from coding. Those kinds of benefits that will entice more people to incorporate smart home. Because the point of view of government, it's the contribution of Philippines in a CO2 emission. For developing countries, that's not a priority because the priority is really food on the
Right.
table, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The first world countries, they talk more on that, their footprint, but for the developing countries,
Emissions.
the focus is the food on the table. But if the government can give that kind of incentive, then being 110 Filipinos in the Philippines, and we'll have a scalable CO2 emission reduction if there's that kind of benefit. And second is long-term benefit is to educate the young ones.
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
connect to that because I've been quiet. I've been listening to your answers, and the reason why I'm quiet is because I could already imagine the huge role played by
True.
education
Educate
sectors,
academics.
not just educating those who are in schools, but educating the industry.
True.
Yes.
That's always a challenge.
True.
Connecting the two as well, but of course it's easier if the future architects already or future interior designers already informed
Yes.
at the college level.
True.
At
But
the base level.
at the same time, the challenge now also is building capacities for industry practitioners, because
True.
not everyone who is
True.
in the practice are well, at least they do not have enough time to learn new things.
Yes.
So
True.
that's how we try to link
True.
with the industry. But bottom line, it's the need for constant professional development or learning,
True.
because we learn new things every day. These
Correct.
technologies evolve faster than we think.
True. I totally agree.
So we cannot really catch up,
Yes.
at least in school. So in this case, the industry is going to help us
True.
be updated.
True. Yeah.
And of course, even
Yeah.
the direct suppliers of
True.
these technologies.
Yeah.
Maybe smart home can be an elective.
Yeah.
In
Pwede.
fact,
Yeah.
Pwede.
there are some schools that are offering additional courses on advanced architecture.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But if you hear about this being talked about 3-4 years ago, perhaps people will just laugh. But in fact, that there's a lot of degree programs on advanced architecture already out there.
Nice.
But I could imagine now, if we talk about that, it would be a welcome idea.
Yeah, I
it
think
would be
everyone will
exciting.
be open to it.
It will be,
True.
everyone will be curious to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During World Bex, there were a lot of Archie students, ID students during World Bex who visited our showroom.
It's good to hear.
We're very excited. We spend time educating them because that's the
That's
future.
nice.
Because for me, what success looks like, it's the same story as an AC. Now every design there's where's the AC? What type of
Yeah.
AC do you like?
Yeah.
But before, that was not the story of AC. It was really more of an add-on.
Yeah.
So we want to have that same journey,
Oh.
that in a basic design, you will really reflect a smart home ready, wiring and everything. So it will be a long shot as an industry, but for me that will make it
Welcoming sight.
Yeah.
welcoming, easier
Definitely.
for everyone to convert your home into a smart home.
And I'm sure there are a lot of benefits talaga.
True.
So, which brings us to our next question. What are some of the potential benefits of smart home technology that relate to energy efficiency, healthcare, and education?
That's a big question.
Yes.
Tatlo yun energy efficiency,
True.
healthcare, and
Alright.
education.
It's a difficult question, Rhia. Yeah. No, but smart home is not just about home.
Yes.
I think that's a common conception of people that it's only home that you can automate, but it's not. It's any space. So it can be home, it can office, it can be a research hotel. It can be an hospital also. We had a lot of inquiries before because they want to automate their machines also. So they want it to be more energy efficient, and also not just energy efficient, but they want to extend the life
Okay.
of their medical equipment, because the lights in the healthcare, it's normal, so you can always automate the lights. But if you talk about the medical devices, how do you make it more energy efficient? How do you make it less human dependent, reducing thereby the margin of error? Those things can also be, you can also incorporate automation as a concept in the healthcare industry, and in education, definitely, as what Professor has mentioned about the education is really important.
Yeah, to add to Kitch, I think I don't know if everyone would agree, or Kitch, you would agree, but home automation or smart home really stemmed from building automation. That was really I guess you would say, the pioneer in our industry.
Especially the wired. No?
The wired,
Mm.
because like our topic a while ago, it's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just that it was expensive, not accessible to
True.
everyone, and there's a lot of requirements. So usually those that have it are, you know, bigger buildings that require building automation, but most of them are done from scratch, because everyone has different requirements.
Right.
Like for example, this certain company or this certain brand will only want to lease out that space or rent that space
True.
if they have this, if they have recording for, you know, a whole year,
Okay.
if they have the energy consumption reading done monthly or daily, right? So yeah, in terms of the space, it stems out to many different things. Smart home is just really a small segment in it.
Okay.
There's what we have, the the healthcare system,
Right.
that for hospitals, like we are starting right now to do quite a bit of work with them as well, because they want their blinds basically to, you know, automated blinds. It's really more of the blinds. The lighting actually not as much, because it's usually just either on or off, right? But when it comes to the blinds, even their beds, they've asked us to you know, automatically have it recline. Or, because there are certain times, like there are certain patients that need it. Okay, at 3 p.m. you really need to sit up. You can't stay lying down for 24 hours.
Fixed intervals.
So yeah, though we're getting there. I think we're still getting there. Not quite as open yet as.
I'd like to respond to Rhia's question in a different light, because she mentioned healthcare, education, and I'll add to that government spaces. These three being the top three public spaces, and we already addressed the healthcare spaces.
Yeah.
But the common to the three would be how smart technology could help the operation of these kinds of facilities be more efficient. For example, not just the lights, but even access to spaces. And all other common operations or activities happening. Of course, those three have a common need for, you know, inflow, outflow of people inside spaces, and then thermal comfort. At least for schools, for example, it's important to control light and temperature all the time. Access as well, because for emergency purposes. But even that is very challenging for big schools, because everything is still done manually.
Yes.
By the time all the doors are open for a morning class, all the students are already out there in the hallway. You know, because it's done manually. And at the same time, the air conditioning system. Not everyone is there yet, but it's already turned on. To warm it up. Sounds funny, but so I think it's not just being applied in homes. So
there are a lot of public spaces that automation
need
do.
So we talk about the benefits. How about what are the potential social and economic impacts of smart home technology in a developing country? Like, could it exacerbate existing inequalities, or, you know, create new ones, or could it lead to improve quality of life and economic opportunities for those who adopt it? What do you think?
I definitely think, well, aside from the energy efficiency and the convenience, there's also the security, I think, that smart homes provide us. So I think that's something that improves the quality of life for the person for the user of a smart home.
Yeah, going back to what Professor said, especially in terms of access control, right? I think that's one of the biggest things in the industry as well. That's why there's a lot of companies that have come up with their own, what we call smart locks. Right? There's others that, you know, there's standalone smart locks. Samsung has their own. Philips has their own. Yale has their own. Right? So these big companies see the need or see a potential in this market. I think that's one of the reasons why they ventured into it, even though it's not really their specialty. That I would say. So yeah, I think in terms of the benefit, it's really overloaded or
Yes.
something to a
Yes.
sense, right?
Aside from what we've talked about in terms of CO2 emission, energy, I think it's really about better lifestyle. Especially if you're really a very busy person, you want to spend more productive time on work than doing things at home. And with smart home, it makes your life more convenient. It gives you more time, more space to do more productive things. So it can be making your life better. Like on your way home, you can turn on the AC already. So that once you arrive at home, it's already cold. So it gives you that tired from work, but at least I get to enjoy a convenient, a better home. So for me, it that will change the lifestyle of people also long term, giving you that convenient lifestyle.
I totally agree with that, no? Especially in our field, no? It's very stressful. We want to relax when we go home, no? Parang dapat malamig na sa kwarto.
Yes.
Di ba?
Actually, totoo yan.
Diba?
And
Tapos,
even as simple as finding your keys. Diba? After you park, where's my key? Especially for a girl which had a big bag. A lot of things inside, diba? Where's my key? Diba? Where's your
Keypad na lang.
That's instead of looking for your key, then you have your keypad or fingerprint. Diba?
Fingerprint, yeah. Actually, we're
Yeah,
using
just
already
a code.
that.
There's a
Standalone. There's a lot of
Yeah.
standalone ones.
Yes.
Yeah, standalone
Like for
ones are
professor, he can
lifesaver.
start his times on class. His class is on time.
Speaking of that, I think more than the convenience, it's really the new way of valuing time
True.
Yes.
as affected by smart technology, especially given that now we are shuttling from an actual office space or workspace
True.
and working from home, and we are spending our days differently every day. So our time is no longer viewed the same way every day because
True.
it depends on your daily schedule.
True.
So it's a big help, if
True.
if you can help make things faster
True.
through these technologies.
The saying, diba, time is really money.
True.
And that's
Yes.
that's
Time
where
is
the value of time in terms of your opportunity cost and all.
Yes. True. And I have this one inquiry. This is actually the only one that inquired. How can I replace my household help with automation? Because it's so hard to find the household help now. That's a reality now. So in a way, home automation gives you that helping hand. So instead of calling your household help to turn off your lights every, you can turn it off in the comfort of your bed.
Yeah.
You can turn on your appliances wherever you are. So that question, actually, at first I laughed at it. But in retrospect, its question is relevant.
valid.
Yeah,
It's
it's a valid
very
question.
valid.
Very legit.
It's very valid, very legit. Because that's how the first world countries survive without household help. They make the surroundings convenient for you via the automation.
Japan has those robots that cook for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, or vending machines or
Vending
whatever.
machines.
So,
Robot waiters also.
so
And then years ago, we had like robot vacuums. Diba?
Yes,
Sobrang uso nun,
true.
diba?
for condos, that's still a big hit until
Yeah.
now, right? For smaller
Yeah.
spaces, especially.
Yeah.
Like it's very convenient. You get home,
Yes.
your
Okay
home
na.
is mopped and no more
Yeah.
dust.
Yeah.
Just let the robot do its
Yeah.
thing.
True.
You have to take out your wires lang.
Yeah.
No wires on the
But-
floor.
Yeah.
Leading towards more. How can public awareness, education campaigns, and training programs be implemented to promote adoption and improve technological
That's
literacy?
True. Yeah.
I
As
think it's
users,
more directed
Yes.
towards.
as we're the
Yeah.
providers, we want to hear from the
Yeah.
contractors and then the academic.
Yeah.
How can we educate more?
Again, I think now the key approach might be putting together all the ideas and information coming from all sectors, the industry, the contractors, the practitioners, the designers, and then those who are in the academe who are doing more in-depth research,
Yes.
and then share.
Mm.
It's no longer a segmented
True.
dissemination of information. So it must be a collective effort.
Mm.
I think what might work would be, having conferences or
True.
fora
Yeah.
on this topic, but open to everyone.
True.
Yeah.
Because what happens normally is, one group or one sector will talk about it, but it's just them.
Yes.
Correct.
And whatever is discussed does not, bleed out through
Yes.
to the other
Correct.
stakeholders. So
Correct.
I think it must be more inclusive,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yes.
Because trade shows, right? Trade shows
Yeah.
are more specific.
True.
They're like, let's say World Bex, it's really
Yeah.
more
Yes.
specific. It's technology.
There's an industry.
Yeah. When we joined, we used to join CES also in Vegas. It's really just pushing this type of industry, right? So it's not really, I wouldn't say it's really exclusive, but sometimes it does feel like that.
Yes.
It's more of just
not by intent.
not by intent, but it's just technology. So there are others that
True.
not as interested, but may need it later on down the line. Like they won't be able to hear about it, basically.
Well, that's true.
So basically, it has to be like less intimidating,
Mm.
so that everyone can feel like, okay, this is something within reach, and this is something that we can adapt to. Maybe something like that. Is that
true?
what?
It can be at times 100 of us.
Yeah.
At times 1,000 of us
Uh-oh.
in one
Seating.
One seating.
Yeah.
So because
Can be
something like a back and forth, it's
Yeah.
different from one guy talking, which
True.
I
Right.
think
Mhm.
usually as presenters, we're the only ones talking, right? And then the
Yeah.
Q&A, I think it should be the other way around. The presenting should be a lot less than the Q&A.
Yeah.
Because it's really there where you can gauge what people want to know, right?
Yeah.
Because I can talk so much about the technology, but it's
Yes.
probably not what they want to know.
True.
Right. Which brings me now also to the value and importance of having a very clear outline of what this whole mega trend
True.
covers up to the nano trend.
True.
Because again, we can talk about the generalities, but for some specific stakeholders, like for example, homeowners, they might have a very specific set of topics that they want to talk about.
Correct.
And they would probably gravitate more towards learning more about, let's say, what's new and how much it costs,
Yes.
and then how is it available in the market. But students, for example, might be interested on other things, other aspects.
Technology side.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Features.
details of it,
Features.
right?
Features.
As they apply in their own disciplines. So, but again, I would assume that there's one main source of information on these smart technology as a megatrend. It's really the awareness of
True.
everyone, or consciousness
True.
on learning and understanding what these megatrends are.
Correct.
So regardless of your discipline, you have to understand that because it affects everyone's life. So
Correct. Totally agree.
In terms of the technological literacy, about your question a while ago, I think having a open specification, giving us specifications
Yes.
so that we could adapt it easily.
User manuals.
User manuals, yes. Kasi for us designers, so
Schematics.
if we do not understand how
It's
it
hard to
works,
implement.
it will be hard for us to
Definitely.
implement.
Correct.
So I think it could start with that one first, giving us the right manual and specification so that we could integrate it in the design.
And then the manual has to be easily read.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huwag masyadong complicated.
True.
I think that's a harder thing to because manufacturers like to dump everything,
Yes.
not just for the information side, but for their security.
Yes.
Because they want to make sure that everything is there, just so that people can't say, "Oh, it's not in your manual.
Okay.
Why did it break?" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
but that might also lead to it will lead us back to understanding how the potential consumers of this technology would prefer the information to be consumed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether
True.
they would need a very long manual to learn about it
Correct.
and how to operate it or install it, or whether they would just rather watch a very short video.
Yeah.
So that could also work.
True.
But again, it will boil down to who are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
how
think-
much do we understand
I
it?
think our hope is that
Different,
it becomes like a remote control.
Yes.
No.
Who now reads the manual of a remote control?
Mm.
Diba?
True.
It's,
True.
I think
Yeah.
that's where we want it to be. That becomes more self-explanatory.
Very
There
intuitive.
has to be user-friendly
Correct.
So
enough that
that's
it's
part of our
understandable.
challenge
Yeah.
because we need to make the app
Mm.
in the system as how do I say it, as
Intuitive?
dumbed down
Yeah.
as needed.
Yeah,
diba?
but I'm very happy that we're all here. I think it's a first step, one big step in terms of education, awareness about smart home, because we five are from the same industry but different areas of expertise.
Right.
So us talking about it, giving our thoughts about smart home, it's a very great start in terms of awareness of smart home.
Most definitely.
I'd like to shift to a different topic. Although we've mentioned these words already,
Yes.
but I want to bring it back to concerns on privacy
True.
and data security.
True.
Given that
True.
technology would bring with it
True.
these concerns, how do you think could we address this, or how are we doing now, based
True.
perhaps on your
Based on your
customer feedback?
experience.
Yeah, based on your experience.
So yeah, right now, in terms of the items that we have, right, it's not just being supplied to us. It's not just being supplied to the Philippines. It's being supplied to the US, to Europe. And these all have different certain standards, whether it's CE certifications or for the Philippines, I think the biggest thing is NTC.
Yeah.
Right. So we've gone through these approvals needed in order to bring in the items, and we're making sure that the manufacturers have these certain certifications, right? So I think that's the first step in terms of the privacy. But I mean, like anything, like even your Wi-Fi system, or even banks are still having trouble with hacking.
Yes,
or
true.
Yeah.
right. So
True.
it's always going to be a concern.
True.
But I think it's more of moving forward and how we can prevent it from happening. Because there's really only so much you can do, right? If
True.
there's someone that's really intent on breaking the code, then I think with the technology out there, I mean,
Yeah.
Especially now, yung mga smart homes, you could use yung thumbprint mo and
Yes,
it's
yes.
recorded in that
True.
device. So they could,
Yeah.
and whenever we, withdraw sa ATM,
yeah.
you just use your thumbprint so someone could also.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
really one of
something
the
like that, yeah.
biggest questions. I think one of the main questions, and sometimes becomes a barrier for some. I don't want smart home because I will share my fingerprint, I will share my information. But the way we address it is to face reality that there is really an inherent risk. No one is safe. No one is safe in terms of hacking. But there are several ways in terms of compensating and managing risk. So what we do is, one, we don't collect customer information. So we also don't share information to our suppliers. So our suppliers, our clients. So whatever products we installed in our clients, we don't send it back.
Okay.
We don't send any information. So there's no way to trace that customer A is product A, B, C. So there's no way. And then the usual, there's an IT test, anti-hacking prevention that we do daily. So we maximize the available ways to protect the security of the client, whether it's required by law or not required
Yes.
by law. Because at the end of the day, they are your customers. They trust you to keep the information.
Yeah. But I think the easiest way for you to have peace of mind and still be able to enjoy the smart home is really just taking it out from the internet. Just making it accessible only through your home, right? If that's really your concern, you can just have it disconnected. That way, you're more safe. You're more, you have more peace of mind. Because like there was that big thing, I think was it 2-3 years ago, where everyone started to cover their cameras on their phones or on their laptops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
laptops,
Diba? Even in movies, people were like,
Even
right?
the mic on your phone.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a manual cover for your webcam,
Yes.
somebody else can control it from
Yeah,
external.
yeah.
Right?
So yeah, I think that's one of the easiest ways to have peace of mind. It's just pull it from them
Yeah.
from the web.
And our responsibility is really to inform the customers, our clients, what are the ways to prevent. If you want to change your password regularly, always turn on the OTP, one-time PIN, every time you log in. So you limit the access. So those basic prevention, we it's our responsibility to really inform the clients.
I'm curious to find out what basic information do you solicit from your clients in terms of privacy?
What we get, the usual name, the address we know because we install
Right.
on their site.
The physical address.
Yes, the usual, and then the phone number. Those basic info only that we
Nothing
get.
more.
Nothing more, and we don't even summarize them. We don't.
Okay.
We don't, because when the moment you summarize the information, then there's
Easy to get it.
Yes, and there's that next tendency to synthesize
Yeah.
the information.
Yeah,
For us, we don't summarize, we don't analyze the information.
Of course, you get their contact information.
Yes.
And some of them perhaps may be apprehensive in giving
Yes.
very detailed contact information unless you tell them exactly why you need them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of the automation, there's also different levels. Kasi, so let's say you want your system basically to send you an email or to send you a push notification or even a text message when your door was open.
Right.
So of course we need that information, right? So if the client is hesitant in giving that, then that's fine. It's a feature there.
Or you
whether
explain
use it
to
or
them the reason why you're
Yes.
getting this information is because it's necessary for the feature that they are
That they
expecting,
need.
That they
That
need.
they-
Yes.
Yes.
But we have clients who prefers to be communicated via email.
Yes.
Louis. So he doesn't want to share information. We close the deal, but we talk via email.
We have some that
Preference.
with that, we have some that I've never even talked to them. I just talk to their interior or to their
Yes.
architect because they're the one who really push their client to have the system.
And
Yeah.
actually, I feel much better hearing these things from you, knowing that there are safeguards to
Yeah.
privacy.
Yes.
Because that's like, I think, one of the main concerns talaga, or one of the
True.
pushbacks for some other people when it comes to like smart home or automation, that, they get the information.
Yeah. And also we have the responsibility to safeguard the plans themselves, the house plans.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who don't want people to have access in their home plans. A design, where's your room, where's your masters?
Yeah.
And there are designs which hidden room
Yeah.
even, right? So it's our responsibility to protect the plans because that's basically the layout of somebody's home.
So that's why there are naman
Privacy.
contracts that we sign and all that, just to make sure that we are liable as well, right? It's not just a one-way street, basically.
Yeah. So I have a question in terms of, I think this is more of sa government naman natin. Do you think what would be the government's role in terms of doing policies in developing smart homes? Do you think that the government could help us, financial incentives?
Definitely.
Or, especially the NGOs as well. I mean, diba, meron mga organizations, corporations that also promotes smart home technologies in terms of climate change.
Yeah. As what I've said a while ago, if you want to have an immediate and then scalable impact, it's really for government. But we acknowledge that it will be a long shot, given all the priorities of the governments that we have. But for me, the best way really to talk to the government and educate them also what are the benefits of smart home. It's not just about technology. There's a sustainability benefit to it. There's the earth friendly, the green benefit to it, the convenience. And once there's that legislative benefit, there's also a benefit to the consumers at the end of the day because prices will be managed as well. So the price be more competitive, making it more friendly to the Philippine market, making it more affordable. So it's not just a win for the government in achieving a better carbon footprint or energy consumption, but also a win for the users, consumers, because they will get the smart home on a competitive price, and of course to the provider as well, because it's a mass information to everyone that there's smart home. So it's a win-win through everyone. But it will be a difficult route for that, but for me that's the best route.
I'd like to connect to that. Not only a win in terms of easier information dissemination, but for those who do specific work, like for example, for the designers, for contractors,
Electrician.
for the providers of these products. If there's a legislation, as you mentioned, a law that allows you, then you will feel a lot freer.
Yes, correct.
Doing your thing.
Yes.
Promoting it, whatever you're doing in the industry, because you know that you are supported from up above.
Yeah. Also, I believe having a legislation for this concept now, or introducing of this smart home would also have parang improvement din in terms of regulation. Diba? Siyempre, we have to regulate the quality of the things that we introduce sa market. So, I think having that legislation could also add a layer of protection din.
Yes.
Diba? In terms of kung ano yung papasok sa market.
Yes.
Magagamit.
The government is just a very hard market to penetrate.
True.
Into.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
It's a reality.
But yeah, moving towards what you guys were saying, it would be nice if they could have it, because like even in just building laws, right? Because in the Philippines, I think we're one of the only few countries that don't have a neutral wire in our switches. Most countries already do have it. The US, they just take that switch out.
That's it.
They're done.
Plug and play.
Plug and play. In Europe, it's the same. A lot of the Asian countries are the same as well. Of course, there are some that are like us, where it's basically line here and the other line is on the other side. But yeah, if that can be pushed towards maybe newer building codes, or it is a long shot. Like you mentioned, it's a long shot, but it would help really spread the benefit and the scalability of smart homes in different homes in the Philippines.
Hey, kung sabi nga naman ni Kitch, he said earlier that electric vehicles, they have they enjoy a set of privileges, and maybe someday it's not impossible.
It's true.
Maybe someday in the future, smart homes could also have the same benefit as well, right?
Speaking of benefit, earlier I was wanting to inject the word incentive, and I could imagine now one benefit for an individual citizen as a taxpayer is being incentivized for adopting smart technology, not just in the home, perhaps in his or her business.
True.
Like for cars, right? Like what they're doing now. Yeah.
Or if you own a business and you're running an office, if you are using smart technology, then you can have that as a tax break or something.
You can have incentive in your electricity, like discount
Percentage.
or something because you're using a smart
home system. Yeah, we should invite someone
from the government.
From the government.
the Department of Energy.
Correct.
To sit in, and that can be one of our first forums.
And the ICT plays a big role,
of course, for the security.
And the advancement of the consciousness on technology, on market trends, and all. And of course, all the other agencies that are
other sectors. That
we could name the whole bunch.
I'm not sure if this is relevant. Solar technology.
Oh,
right?
true.
Is it like, would you say that it's a part of being a smart home as well? If you have solar panels or...
Yes, and the good thing is right now, the prices have gone down considerably.
Yes, I have heard.
Because even from before, right, it's not really the panels that were expensive, it's the storage of energy. It's the battery packs that are expensive right now, right?
Correct.
But right now, they're getting more and more affordable. So even with us, we've integrated it into houses. We've integrated with solar companies, just so that downtime that we were mentioning.
Correct.
No more downtime in electricity. No more downtime in Wi-Fi. Well, unless there's no internet with PLDT or Globe or whatever.
But I remember one of the main benefits is the electricity.
It's really electricity.
If there is such a thing as like negative consumption.
Yeah, when you're on grid,
Yeah.
If you're
you
on
can sell
grid,
your
you can
Yeah.
sell.
electricity.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
sell
is
it
like
back.
by your solar.
Which is happening in
To a
some states.
cooperative.
Yeah.
Some states in the US
Yeah.
are do that. If you have over
Yes.
produced energy,
Yeah.
True.
shoot it back to the grid. I'll pay you per kilowatt.
So that's a
Yes.
huge incentive, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
True.
That's why a lot of the electrical companies have started offering that. I don't know how it's
Okay.
doing right now because I haven't heard of it for quite a while. But I remember before they would say, like, yeah, we can add a few solar panels for your heaters
Okay.
for an additional blah, blah, blah per month, right? I don't know how it's doing right now, but I've heard pitches like this already,
Yeah.
especially in Cebu with the electrical company that we have. They were offering that quite a bit. You get 3 solar panels. That's good enough for all your heaters in your house. Right?
There's actually a lot of smart home tech companies in Cebu. I have noticed back in 2020. I don't know.
There's a
now,
lot of
I
tech
think
companies. Yes,
True.
in general.
Our topic is very timely, no? Itong smart home, especially now that technologies are, very available na rin, especially here in
Readily
our country.
available,
Diba?
Yeah.
And ako, I'm thankful with all of the things that I learned from our experts here in the field of smart home.
Yeah, you've imparted a lot of information as well towards us, which we can take back to our respective businesses. Right?
Yeah.
Same. I have learned so much
Yeah.
from everyone here. Like a lot of your inputs have like really made me think about like really the integration talaga of the smart homes into projects talaga would be like a real benefit
Yes.
to clients.
We want to have a better real estate, the Philippine real
Yes.
estate industry.
Yes.
To bring us into a bigger map.
Yeah.
To put Philippines in a bigger map. So I think all of us have that same vision.
And could you all agree that this smart home would really benefit, the real estate industry? Diba?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we have to bring this out there. I mean, this
Yes,
conversation.
correct.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stop within us.
True.
And I could imagine the clamor for more group conversations like this.
Yeah, an open forum would be great. It would benefit.
You can
both
start it
sides.
out.
We'll fly to Cebu.
Could be a
You're all
regional
welcome.
thing.
You're all welcome.
Yeah. So let's all encourage everyone to like continue this conversation about
Yes.
smart homes.
Yeah.